I'm tardy to the party with this subject, and I'm sure you've already seen it by now since it happened a few days ago, but just like Game of Thrones Season 8, it just keeps getting worse. It's the Actman situation, Actman versus YouTube. The Actman is a large YouTuber who recently posted an hour-long video, basically an ESPN 30 for 30 documentary.
Thank you for this. This is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you so much. Thank you.
On another YouTube channel going over all the awful things that they've done or said in their time on the internet. And as a result of posting this video, he received a strike. YouTube took it down due to nudity and sexual content because of a poorly photoshopped cucumber next to the person's mouth.
YouTube is fucking dog shit with the MCA and these sorts of fucking restrictions. They will regularly use the vague nature of terms of service violations in an effort to clamp down on political messaging all the fucking time. Famously, if you remember, the video that I had, what was I talking about? Like, what the fuck was it? It was like, do gay people exist or something? Like, I did a YouTube video about Republicans. I did a YouTube video about like Republicans. Oh no, COVID. Was it COVID? It wasn't about. Was it about gay people? I don't know. Basically, it was one of those fucking YouTube videos where like, it was one of those fucking YouTube videos that was like straight up about, dear conservatives, gay people exist. Okay, that's what it was. And immediately they were like, bam, blammo, you're done. We're just not going to let you fucking monetize that video. I was like, that was bullshit.
Who the video was about. That seems like a pretty drastic over-enforcement of the rule. If they really found it to be highly sexual, it should have just resulted in limited ads as opposed to a full strike on the channel. Like, I've eaten a banana in a video before, and now I'm starting to sweat. Like, what might happen to me? It just really felt like one of those moments that was a full-blown mistake, and we've seen it a million times in the past, where the YouTube bots controlled by Skynet malfunction and issue a strike at random by accident, and then it's overturned shortly thereafter. However, the appeal was rejected within, I believe, 30 minutes of the Actman submitting it, a manual rejection, which means someone with a pulse supposedly looked at it and still said, yep, that shit's staying off the platform. We're putting the kibosh on it right now. So then it became a little bit fishier. Why? The reasoning just doesn't make any sense. It's not like he uploaded Mr. Hands or Two Girls, One Cup in his video. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny piece of an hour-long video that had something that is slightly sexual and by all definitions pretty inoffensive. Almost no one's gonna look at that and be like, holy shit, cover your eyes. Oh my lord, he's going too hard. He's going hog wild out there. It's just not the most sexually explicit thing in the world. Even if they're going full Weenie Hut Jr. mode here, it's still pretty tame by those definitions. Like, it just didn't make any sense. I also think this highlights another shortcoming YouTube's had since the beginning of time, where if a single minuscule piece of a video is a problem, they strike the whole video. They take the whole thing down instead of just letting you yourself remove that piece, that insignificant little piece, that 2 or 3 second little problem zit. Why not just let the creator pop it? YouTube has a built-in editor where you can take things out. So why not just alert the channel like, hey, the video is fine, but there's this one part that's a problem. If you want to keep it in, it's going to get age restricted or you're going to get a strike. But you can take it out and nothing will happen. We're letting you know you have 1 week to take it out. Every single channel would elect to take it out. Like in Actman's case, if they just told him the cucumber Photoshop thing is a problem, I'm certain he would have used the editor to just take it out of the video. Problem solved, and then there's no issue. And that saves YouTube a lot of trouble as well, because that completely avoids the ensuing shitstorm. Why not just let us use the editor to take out the problem? It's something that I also pitched to Susan, the CEO of YouTube, when I talked to her.
Damn, motherfucker knows Susan on a first name basis? Flex, dude. Fucking flex, king. Absolute flexer, bro. Are you joking? I pitched this to Susan, who I'm best friends with.
She thought it was a great idea, as did the policy head. That was 2 years ago. When is it coming? But anyway, in his anger, he turned to the dark side and committed the sin that every YouTuber is guilty of. He went to Twitter to start a shitstorm to finally force a real answer out of YouTube, to finally get an actual response and real action from the company. But unfortunately for Actman, he ended up with YouTube's cucumber in his mouth. They responded to this by age restricting 2 videos of his that were completely unrelated, and then just hitting the speedrun any percent record for appeal rejections by slapping it down in 30 minutes. So, needless to say, the Twitter action wasn't super effective for Actman, but this was only the beginning. Because as of 2 hours ago, YouTube wasn't done huffing and puffing. They blew his whole house down. They demonetized Actman's entire channel.
This makes no sense.
Leaving him ineligible for future monetization. This is essentially being fired from his job, all without ever getting a single explanation as to why. It just happened. So this seems like a complete failure on YouTube's part here, and everything that resulted after the initial strike was done in pure pettiness. There's one more thing I'd like to talk about, and it's a little unrelated to the exact Actman situation, but it has to do with the way YouTubers get YouTube's attention directly. As you've noticed throughout the entire history of YouTube, every time there's a problem, people go to Twitter to talk about it, and vent about it, and tag YouTube in it. And the reason for that is because for most channels, that's the only means of getting a response from the company.
100%. 1,000,000%. Even if you have a YouTube partner, like I have a YouTube account manager, you know what I mean? Half the time, actually, to be fair, my YouTube account manager is pretty nice. I'm not going to shit on him. Never mind. I take it back. I was about to say half the time it's like easier to get fucking answers directly and like push YouTube by like, whipping up people. But I do have a nice account manager. But like JCS also has problems with YouTube as well. I don't even think he has an account manager. It's fucked up. It's fucked up though.
Do you know how fucking pathetic that is? To have people like Actman, who are essentially employees, having to go on Twitter and publicly whine about their boss? That's so demoralizing. Having to grovel at their feet, cry and beg for just a little scrap of information as to what's going on, and if they can...
Actman is the same guy who was tweeting stuff like, what's the big deal, guys? What about BLM in the summer riots while the Capitol was being stormed on January 6th? So it's almost like karma. Okay, so here's the thing. I don't think this Actman dude is a good guy. Okay? It seems like he's not a good guy. Except, it doesn't really matter because you can still be fucked over, okay, by YouTube as a content creator. Regardless of how reactionary your perspective is, especially if your reactionary point of view is not necessarily the main focus of your content, and your reactionary point of view is not like Steven Crowder. Okay? Why? Because if someone has like fucking idiotic baboon-like reactionary fucking takes, but their content in and of itself is not about that at all, even if he's not a fucking good guy, ultimately he should still get a fair shake under the YouTube structure, especially if he's not fucking making agitprop. Like if he's making fucking Nazi videos or whatever, or if he's like a conservative shithead who's like making fucking YouTube videos about like how I don't know, making YouTube videos about how fucking gay people shouldn't exist or whatever the fuck, then yeah, if YouTube claps down on that, I'm not going to be like, wow, that's terrible. I can't believe YouTube is doing that. There's a terms of service for a fucking reason. But this is not about that. This is actually about someone who is making content under the YouTube banner, getting fucked over by YouTube for unrelated shit when he's not even in a fucking violation of the terms of service. Okay? Like, who gives a fuck if you don't like his personal politics? Like, I don't like his personal politics. Fuck him. Okay? There you go. But it's a cancel culture world now. Man, shut the fuck up. Got demonetized for attacking an anti-LGBT user, a YouTuber who abused the copyright system. Yeah, also, I was going to say, like, literally, like, Quantum TV has said worse shit, it seems like, about the LGBT community anyway. So it's like a situation where you got a fucking dickhead and like a way worse dickhead fighting against one another. And the way worse dickhead is also doing like additional bad shit. You know what I mean? So what do you want? It's not cancellation either. It's like someone being able to fucking willy-nilly abuse copyright restrictions. I don't know. You are so wrong on this. Once you're bad, you deserve everything bad like Ethan when he called for the top of the hour. But whatever you want to read it, fuck you, dude. You just fucking put a bomb in my top of the hour ad break plans, okay? That's what you did. You like that? Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. At the top of the hour, there's a 60-second ad break, okay? I feel like that's really fucked up. I feel like you shouldn't be able to do that. That's the third time today. This is unacceptable and inappropriate, okay? Completely unacceptable and completely inappropriate. Thank you, Brown Boy Wonder. What the fuck? Thank you, Dara. 006 for the 5 gifted. Motorface for the 5 gifted. One Anomaly 1 for the 5 gifted. If you ever wanted to feel like the top of the hour ad break is no longer left up to the streamer, but instead the chatter, well, look no further than the top of the hour ad break at 6 p.m. and 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. on the Hasanabe broadcast. It'll make you feel like a big badass when you debate the streamer and make him read your stupid fucking dumb take while simultaneously getting him to finally read that the top of the hour is upon us. Thank you, Nitro King, for the 50 gifted subs, and thank you, Northbound Train, for the 5 gifted subs. God damn. But truly, in order to feel exactly like you're clapping your sweet summer cousin's ass cheeks in the back of a Ford F-150 pickup truck bed, all you need to do is avoid the top of the hour ad break by subscribing. That's right, you can do that for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime by connecting your Amazon Prime account or your cousin's Amazon Prime account after you're done having sexual intercourse with her in the back of your Ford F-150 pickup truck bed. And then connecting that Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account to get 1 free Prime subscription a month. Or by getting gifted subs from the likes of Kami Cool, who just gifted 20, or Rendoa, or the Jez, who just gifted 5, or D-Pipes with another 5, or Northbound Train with another 5, or the Nitro King with 50. But of course, if you haven't gotten a million of the gifted subs that just passed through, you're probably never gonna get it, so you make your own goddamn luck. Here's the 1 minute ad break now. Thank you, Bagels and Locks, or Bagels and Loaded Locks. Thank you for the subs.
Lend a little hand to fix a problem. That is just the worst system of all time. But that's the only way most YouTubers have any access to the company, and it seems to be the only efficient way of getting things solved. And I'm guilty of doing it too. I've gone on Twitter to take a fat dump Baruski on YouTube for something they fucked up on, because I try every...
He has issues, but I think he's better than some people are saying. I don't know. If they haven't already, I think BLM needs to unify as an organization, establish clear goals, motives, and outline methods for achieving them. You have to play the system to change the system, and it would be tragic if most of this turned out to be just noise. We need a game plan. What I'm most concerned about with the protests are goals. What actual change are we trying to achieve? What is the mission statement? What laws are we trying to implement? Who is leading this? Someone needs to step up and be the MLK of this generation. I mean, yeah, he just seems like a... I don't know. I mean, he just seems like a Norman. He doesn't seem like that much of a fucking asshole, but who knows? I wonder if Amazon ever wondered they would get an ad like that. Thank you, D-Pipes, for the 5 get the subs. Okay. He says someone needs to be the MLK of this. And it's like, bro, yeah. You want to know why there is no MLK in this circumstance? Because, you know, they'll fucking murder you. All right, let's continue with this video.
Every other alternative going through all of the proper YouTube channels, but it never leads to solutions. The only thing that does is by making a big hubbub on Twitter about it. It's just so pathetic. No YouTuber or anyone wants to be publicly whining on Twitter about a problem. They want it to be fixed behind the scenes, and YouTube shouldn't want it to be a big problem on Twitter either. The Act Man shit has been trending for like 12 hours now. It's like the #1 trend in the world. And it's bad for YouTube, but he's tried everything else. He's been talking to his partner manager, whom I'm just going to say seems like has no power in this situation, which is about par for the course because a lot of times partner managers have absolutely no ability to solve problems. They're fundamentally just hall monitors for the principal, but don't actually have any level of power, unfortunately, though I do believe they should because every partner manager I've ever known at YouTube is a great person, really on the side of creators, but their hands are tied with what they're given from the company and how to handle problems. So the only thing YouTubers can do is once they exhaust their partner manager, if they even have one, and once they exhaust all the official channels, all they can do, the only thing left, is to make a big deal about it on Twitter. And it sucks. It sucks for YouTube because they look like shit, per usual, and it sucks for the creator because no one wants to just be publicly, making a big scene about shit that should be private. It's just so frustrating that it's been like this for years with no signs of changing. They need to improve the communication. When I had a conversation with Susan, this was one of the things I brought up, and I was told that
Bro, you still talking about Susan on a first name basis? I'm about to act up, dude.
they're working on making that better. That's been 2 years now, and it's still the same. And unfortunately, in Ackman's case, it backfired on him because YouTube got upset about it and started really blasting his whole channel over the issue. Even though they only had a problem with one video, for some reason they extended it to his entire channel, which seems to be purely done out of spite. Regardless of how you feel about Ackman or Ackman's video that started all of this, I believe everyone can agree that the strike is utter bullshit. There is no grounds for nudity and sexual content strike here. And there's even less reasonable explanation for why 2 completely unrelated videos got age restricted shortly after this problem was brought to Twitter. And there's absolutely